Hello students, you are watching Lux tutorial and I am Avishek Gupta. Now as you already know that the students have already been given an option A and option B by council on Monday, that is on 15th June, which you need to report to school once asked by the school authority, which I covered in the previous video, that means this video. And the last date was 20th of June, but this date has been extended to 24th June by the CISC Council after the hearing of 17th June, and the last date is now extended to 24th of June, which was also covered in this video. Now remember, there are three things on which you can and you should make the decision on. Now let us discuss all the three points that I put forward. Listen to these points very clearly and carefully. Now let us discuss point number 1. Now which option to choose, option A or option B, you need to decide only after the council declares the methodology of marking you as per option 2. Now why I am saying this, let us discuss that also. Now the council has said all the students and parents should make an informed choice. So do not make a choice before you know what the council finally decides, and that may happen either on Saturday or on Monday, that is on 22nd of June, which means that you would have only the second half of 22nd or 23rd, the entire day, to make this informed decision in case the decision of the methodology is declared only on Monday. If it happens on Saturday, then you have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday to tell to your school authorities whether you want option A or whether you want option B. If the school forces you, then you need to tell them precisely the point that the council has already said. This is an order which comes from the Bombay High Court. Also remember that if you have opted any option, then you can change on the basis of the details provided by the council, because this is an informed decision, because Bombay High Court had clearly said that parents and guardians need to take informed decision, as I have already discussed. Now let us discuss point number 2. Every child and every parent should be aware of the risk factor and take into account how much is the gain. Now gain means what? Gain in the terms of marks, gain in the terms of name, as you get as a result of getting that many more marks. Gain as a result of prestige factor in the neighborhood, in the family, and generally in the society. Parents should not tell the child, I wish you should have studied in the pre-boards and got good marks, because it makes the child feels that for my parents, the board marks or the board examination marks are very important, and therefore it creates an indirect pressure on the child, forcing him to take decision to go and give examination on July 2020. So this is point number 2. Now let us discuss point number 3. Now there is a major factor that I want to point out, that situation in different cities is different. Like in some cities where the situation is not that bizarre, the parents and students might opt for option A. But in the cities like Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, more number of parents might go for option B, but this is not on raw data from that cities. This is on personal opinion, generally my opinion. Now let's look at different situations. Now there are 3 different situations that might happen. Let us discuss situation number 1. If a child has scored 70 out of 80, this is situation number 1 I am talking about. If a child has scored 70 out of 80 in pre-boards for those papers pending, my suggestion would be better not to take the risk of sitting in the corona kind of an environment. Traveling to examination, sitting in the exam center, and traveling back for 3 to 4 days straight is not an option for these kind of children. Don't be bothered about the fact that in pre-boards he has already got 70 out of 80, and in board examination he might get 75 or 76 out of 80, it may not be the worth the risk that you are putting on your child. Now there is one more thing that I want to put forward, is that some teachers are also forcing their child to select option A. Now it's a humble request to the teachers that you should not force the students, citing examples of others who is taking option A, because I have heard the news that some of the teachers are citing examples of other students, giving an example that a student who is getting 80 out of 80 in that paper is also going for the examination, and you getting 75 or 76 out of 80 is not going to get the examination. In that case, you will be the second and he will be the first. Teachers, it's my request not to pressurize the children in this kind of situation, because this kind of situation is new for all of us. Now let us discuss about the situation number 2. Situation number 2 deals with that kind of children who has scored 50 out of 80 in the pre-boards examination. Now generally it happens that immediately there is a jump in the conclusion that they are definitely going to give the examination. But before jumping to the conclusion, ask yourself 3 important questions that I am putting forward. Has your child class 11 admission secured or not? If your answer is yes, you could choose option 2, not option 1. This is question 1. Let us discuss question number 2. Now let us discuss question number 2. If he or she takes the examination, and in that case, what will be the increase in the marks in the examination, because all the guardians at the end of the day know that what the child is made up of and how much potential the child have and how much increase in the marks he may or she may can put in the examination. Like, for take an example, if the child is getting 50s, like 50 out of 80, let me take a straight away example, 50 out of 80, and if the guardian already know that the child is not that good in that examination, then he can opt for option 2. That means if he go for examination, it might be possible that from 50 he might go to 52 or 53 or 54. That depends on the potential of the children, and the guardians pretty much know this. Now the guardians need to understand this point very clearly, that what is the potential of the children. It might be possible that if a children is very good in mathematics, he may not be good in computer, or he may not be good in geography. So in that case, the guardian should not pressurize the students and need to consult with the students regarding this. Now let us discuss question number 3. Now in question number 3, also keep in mind that the children will not have that same kind of momentum that he or she have in the month of March. 3 months have already passed. Children are generally in class 11 syllabus and kind of mood of class 11, and also there are uncertainty of examination whether it will take place or not. Now guardians need to understand this also. So these are the 3 questions, most important 3 questions in situation number 2. Now let us discuss situation number 3. If a student miss out any 1 or 2 pre-board examination and school for some bizarre reason are not willing to be flexible, they are not saying that if you missed out a subject, don't worry, we would take into account your half-yearly marks. This should be done according to me. Marking them 0 is a very negative attitude and very undesirable according to my suggestion. So the school should think about this one and might consider the half-yearly marks. So my request to all school management is to understand the situation and opt accordingly. Now, if you ask my opinion only on such students, and I hate to say this, that in this kind of situation, only in this kind of situation, and for these kind of students only, the students should go and need to take the examination. So this is the situation number 3. Now, we have already discussed about the methodology that the council might go, and the petitioner have already discussed this in the Bombay High Court. Let us discuss about this in much detail. Now, what can be the methodology that the council can opt as proposed by Mr. Arvind Tiwari is that of dynamic progression method. Now, which essentially means that compare the board examination marks of the paper you have given in the month of March, compare it with pre-board marks of the same subject, that is maths board paper marks, with maths pre-board paper marks, because the council has asked for all the paper marks and work out the percentage increase and then apply that percentage increase in these pending examination. For instance, if the average increase of a particular student is, let's say, 9 marks, so your 50 out of 80 could get added and become 59 out of 80. Now, we cannot ignore the fact that the council methodology is still pending. It will be discussed on 20th of June. So let's council come out for a methodology, and then if you wish to change, you got to put pressure on school management to allow you to change, because that is precisely why the deadline has been extended from 22nd to 24th. Also remember that this methodology need to be approved by Bombay High Court. It's not that council will come up with anything and Bombay High Court will say, okay, done, go ahead. It will be subject to the objection which will be raised by the petitioner, Mr. Arvind Tiwari. Finally, let us discuss one more thing, that what happens in the Supreme Court on 23rd June will also make a difference, because there is public pressure, there is political pressure from the states like Delhi, Maharashtra, which has spoken against the examination. Moreover, there are many if and buts, like Maharashtra government said earlier, if there are less number of students there, they will conduct the examination, otherwise they will not conduct examination. So wait for the last word by the council. This video that I've made is specifically put out for those parents and guardians so that they can understand what the situation is with the child, and they can sit with the child and decide whether to go for option A or option B. So we will come back for more updates in the upcoming videos. Thank you very much for watching. Till then, goodbye.